Have you ever wondered why some people just have it? That presence, that ability to walk into a room and, without saying a word, become the center of attention. We're often told it's charisma, something you're either born with or you're not. Well, that's wrong. Today we're going to tear that idea apart. We are going way past the vague advice and diving into the specific, controllable micro-behaviors that create an undeniable social pull. Let's get into it.
Just let that quote sink in for a second. That magnetic quality you've seen in others, it's not a gift, it's a skill. Better yet, it's a system. And the system is built on a principle called social gravity. Now, most of us think influence comes from pushing our energy out, being louder, talking more, trying harder. But what if I told you the most powerful people do the exact opposite? They create a gravitational field that pulls energy and attention in. Today we are going to deconstruct that system piece by piece so you can build it for yourself.
So this gets us to the core idea, the social gravity effect. And honestly, it's all about a really powerful paradox. High social value isn't created by running around trying to get everyone's approval. It's built on discipline, self-control, and non-reactivity. Think about it. When you show you're in complete command of your own state, you're not easily shaken, you're not desperate for a laugh or a nod, you literally create a vacuum. And this vacuum compels other people to spend their energy to get your attention. You become the stable center that everything else orbits around. It's a total shift from seeking value to simply being valuable.
But look, before we can build this kind of presence, we have to be brutally honest about what's undermining it right now. We need to run a diagnostic. I want you to think of this not as some deep personal flaw, but more like a technical problem in your communication code. We've got to find and plug what we call the confidence leak.
Just look at these two states we can operate from. On the left, you've got low-value signaling. And let me tell you, this is the invisible wall that holds so many people back. It's that slight hurriedness in your walk, the constant fidgeting with your hands, that need to over-explain everything or fill every single silence. It's just a massive mismanagement of your social energy. But then on the right, you see the goal, social gravity. And that is a state of stillness, of control, of total self-sufficiency. It's an intentional presence that doesn't ask for attention, it just commands it. And here's the most important part. This isn't about who you are. It's about which column you are choosing to operate from in any given moment. You can consciously make that shift.
So what is this confidence leak, really? Well, it's the constant, unintentional broadcast of your own anxiety and neediness. It's every single time you fidget with a pen, tap your foot, rush through your sentences, or litter your speech with filler words like, like, and you know. Now, each one of these little habits seems totally harmless on its own, right? But together, they're like tiny cracks in your armor, draining your perceived authority and signaling to everyone's subconscious that you are just not comfortable in your own skin.
And this right here is probably the most liberating idea we're going to talk about. The solution is not addition. It is not about faking a loud personality or learning some clever lines or putting on some kind of show. It is about structural subtraction. The entire protocol we're about to dive into is focused on one thing: systematically finding and eliminating these negative leaky signals. By just removing the static, your natural authority and presence can finally be heard, loud and clear.
Okay, so let's shift from the problem to the solution. Let's see how we build this thing. We are now entering the core of the system itself, the social gravity protocol. This isn't just a collection of tips. It's a structured, actionable framework built on three powerful pillars that all work together to create that magnetic presence.
So here they are, the three pillars. First up, temporal control. This is all about mastering your own relationship with time. Second, we have attentional economy. This is where you learn to treat your focus like the high-value currency it really is. And third, stillness and space. This is the actual practice of eliminating nervous energy to project an unshakable calm. You master these three signals together, and that's what creates the powerful social gravity effect. Let's break each one down.
Let's kick things off with temporal control. This is about taking complete ownership of time in your interactions. Think about it. People with low social value are always reactive. They rush to answer questions, they speed up to match someone else's frantic pace, they're terrified of silence. They are letting the outside world dictate their rhythm. But people with real social gravity, they operate on their own authoritative internal clock. This means using intentional delays. It means speaking at a measured, unhurried pace. And here's a huge one: using strategic pauses. That tiny pause before you answer a question, it signals that you're actually considering your words, not just blurting something out. It's a total power move that forces everyone else to slow down and enter your frame on your time. Next up, Attentional Economy. This is fascinating. In our crazy, hyper-distracted world, your undivided focus is one of the most valuable resources you have. So you have to stop giving it away for free. We need to aggressively eliminate something called attentional drift. You know what I'm talking about. It's when your eyes scan a room or you glance at your phone while someone's talking to you. No more. When you're in a conversation, you are all in. You use deep, sustained eye contact. You become a vault of attention. What this does is it signals that your focus is a reward that has to be earned. It's not just handed out to anyone. And that scarcity, instantly and subconsciously, skyrockets your perceived value.
And the third pillar is stillness and space. This is all about killing that nervous energy we talked about earlier. This means making a conscious choice to stop fidgeting. No more bouncing legs, no more restless hands, no more tapping pens. Stillness signals complete internal self-sufficiency and emotional stability. And here's why that's so magnetic. When everyone else in the room is swimming in a sea of low-grade anxiety, the person who is calm and still becomes the lighthouse. They're the stable point. You also want to use open, expansive posture to take up physical space, which non-verbally screams confidence and status before you ever say a single word.
Okay, so we've covered the what. We know the three pillars are temporal control, attentional economy, and stillness. But now, and this is where it gets really good, we need to understand the why. Why is this protocol so insanely effective? Let's dive into the powerful psychological and neurological gears that are turning behind the scenes.
The social gravity protocol basically works by hacking the primitive subconscious way other people's brains figure out your social value. It does this in three main ways. First, it dials down their brain's internal threat detector. Second, it taps into the incredibly powerful mental shortcut of social proof. And third, it saves your own mental energy for when it really counts, which positions you as an authority.
Let's look at that first mechanism, because this is pure neuroscience. Deep inside all of our brains, we have something called the amygdala. Think of it as our ancient alarm system, constantly scanning for danger. Now, high anxiety cues, like fidgeting, talking way too fast, or making jerky movements, are read by that alarm system as threat signals. It makes people feel subtly unsafe and anxious around you, even if they can't put their finger on why. But stillness, a calm pace, deliberate pauses, those are processed as safety signals. It literally calms down the other person's brain, making you seem trustworthy, competent, and in control. You become a source of calm, not a source of anxiety.
The second mechanism is social proof, and this is such a cool mental shortcut. When people see that you're non-reactive, that you aren't desperately trying to impress them, that you're perfectly content and self-sufficient, well, their brain has to figure out why. It's like a little puzzle that needs to be solved. And the conclusion it almost always jumps to is this. Okay, this person must have some serious internal value. They don't need my approval because they already have it from themselves or from other people who matter. And this creates a magnetic curiosity. People suddenly want to find out the source of your confidence. They lean in.
And the final piece of the psychological puzzle is authority positioning. This is all about your own internal resources. See, constantly fidgeting, trying to manage your own anxiety, rushing your thoughts, all that stuff consumes a massive amount of cognitive energy. It just burns through your brain's processing power. But by practicing stillness and temporal control, you save all that energy. So what does that mean? It means when you finally do speak, your thoughts are clearer, your words are more precise, and your output is way more focused and impactful. This just reinforces that powerful first impression you already made with your stillness, creating this awesome feedback loop of perceived authority.
All right, we've arrived at the most important part, the actionable guide. We've diagnosed the problem, we understand the psychology behind it. Now I'm going to give you the precise, non-negotiable drills to put this system to work for you immediately. This is where theory becomes practice. We're going to start with what I call the Temporal Anchor Drill. Step 1 is super simple and measurable. Starting tomorrow, I want you to consciously walk 20% slower than you normally do. Now this is going to feel weird at first. You feel like you're moving in slow motion. But when you walk with purpose, but without being in a hurry, you signal to yourself and everyone else that you are in control of your time and your destination. You're not being yanked around by outside pressures. This one small physical change has a huge effect on your mindset. Okay, step 2 of the drill, and trust me, this one is a total game changer. When someone asks you a question, you have to fight that deep, primal urge to answer right away. Instead, I want you to take a full 1-second pause. Don't break eye contact. Take a slow, calm breath, and then give your answer.
That single second feels like an eternity to you, but to the other person, it transforms you from someone who's reactive to someone who's thoughtful. It signals that you value your own words enough not to be rushed. It completely and instantly flips the power dynamic of the conversation.
And the third part of the Temporal Anchor Drill, speak 10% slower than your normal pace. Again, this is going to feel a little awkward at first, but a measured, deliberate pace just oozes authority and confidence. Rushing your speech signals anxiety, like you don't even believe your own ideas are worth taking up time. When you slow down, you force people to listen more closely. It gives your words more weight, more gravity, and way more impact.
Finally, we have the lockdown and command. These are two non-negotiable commitments you have to make to yourself. First, the attentional lockdown. You have to commit to this. When you are talking to someone, your phone does not exist. Your attention is locked on them. Practice deep, sustained eye contact, not aggressive, just fully present. Second, the Stillness and Space Command. Right now, as you're listening to this, I want you to identify your number one fidgeting habit. Is it tapping a pen, bouncing your knee, touching your face? Your mission is to consciously declare war on that one habit. At the same time, keep your posture open and let your hands rest calmly. This becomes your command center for projecting unwavering stability. So, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this truth. Real influence isn't about chasing the spotlight, trying to be the loudest or funniest person in the room. It's about cultivating such a powerful inner state of control and stillness that you make the spotlight come directly to you.
Look, this isn't just interesting information. It's a protocol that has to be executed. So the real question is, are you ready to implement it? Are you ready to stop leaking confidence and start commanding the attention and respect you actually deserve? The system is right here. The choice is yours.
All right, let's bring it all home. The social gravity effect is the system that finally solves the problem of low-value seeking and wasted energy. And why this matters so much is that it gives you a step-by-step way to gain that instant magnetic presence. The framework, mastering your temporal control and your stillness, plugs directly into human psychology. It works because it calms the threat detector in other people's brains, making you a signal of safety, and it leverages social proof, forcing them to conclude that you have high internal value. So, stop projecting neediness, start projecting stillness and control, because real power isn't about doing more, it's about mastering systems that make your presence effortless.